Hello, just about to go live. Stand by. Evening, gang, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live here at Reach On Air.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach On Air.
I do like that little jingle. I often sing along to my own jingles. I mean, how sad is that? Even like when I'm in the car or something like that. Anyway, that was pretty good timing there, I thought. I'm very pleased with myself there. Thanks very much to Betsy Barker. We've chilled with Betsy here at Reach On Air. Yes, it's a Tuesday night and we haven't been here for 2 weeks, so it's nice to be back once again, boys and girls. I've got to tell you, I am aching this morning, tonight. I'm actually aching pretty badly, and the main aching is on the inside of my thighs. Okay, so if you put your finger on your knee, right, and go up towards your the bottom part of your body, and then just before you get to the V bit between your two legs, move your finger over to the inside, and it's aching badly there. Right, I mean literally right on the inside, kind of. Let me think. Let me have a little feel. You don't mind if I have a feel while we're doing this? About an inch below my bits. Do you know what I mean? About there. It is aching badly. And the reason for that is I went back to the gym yesterday for the first time in 4 weeks because I feel better now. I feel that all these illnesses, or that illness, or several illnesses that have been hanging around me since blooming Christmas time, have lifted. And I noticed this on Sunday, and I thought, do you know what? I feel better than I have done for weeks now, and I can only put it down to the fact that I've gone back to the gym. Now, the pain. Or is it a pain? No, it's not, because it's only when you move in a certain way, and it's both legs. It's both legs that are hurting me, right? That pain there is definitely something to do with the gym because it's on both legs. It's not on one or the other. It's on both in exactly the same place. And I'm pretty sure, I think the machine that done it is the one that you lay down on and you push this plate thing up with your legs. I'm almost 100% sure that that's the thing that's done it. And it first came on last night. This morning it was a little bit worse, and tonight after my afternoon sleep, which I was lucky to have, I'll tell you about that in a moment. My afternoon sleep, after that I woke up, it was that bad. It's only in certain places I can't bend over. I can't. And I don't know how I managed to get my right sock on. I'm extremely unflexible at the moment. I am not your flexible friend. I'm just a normal friend at the moment, and not a flexible friend. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I guess it'll just be a case of a couple of days and I'll be all right. But one of those things, I guess, when you don't go back for a long time like that. Very annoying though, and I'm kind of hobbling up and down the stairs. I don't know how it was that I managed to make it to the Co-op this evening to purchase myself some butter, Anchor butter, £3.45. Jeez, £3.45 for Anchor butter. And I also purchased in there, while I was in there, a very large bag of baked Wotsits. Do you like those? Great big bag. £2.40. I don't know why I even paid it. Usually, I won't. You see, no, that's too much, I'll put it back. I feel ripped off. But for some reason, I purchased these, and I dare to tell you that I've had them all. I've had them all just before I come on to do the show tonight, as well as some beans on muffins. They got no... I don't know what's going on in the Co-op. There's no giant crumpets. There's no donuts. What's going on down there? Everything they have got, you have to take out a small mortgage to buy anything in there. Oh, it's outrageous, dear. Outrageous. No donuts even. Here's the worst thing connected to this show, right? The worst thing I haven't got with me tonight are mints. I have no mints at all in the house or in the car. I can't believe it. I have searched high and low. Usually there's a tin or two up here. There's one or two on downstairs on the settee. There's a couple of spare ones in the cupboard. And there's a couple of tins in the car. I have no mince. No mince whatsoever. So very concerned about that. If you're new to the show, welcome along. We'd just like to have a little bit of a chat for a couple of hours on a Tuesday night between 9 and 11 o'clock here on Reach On Air. We're also on TikTok if you want to join us on TikTok. The username there is Chris Reardon UK, or on YouTube, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, on there as well, and Facebook Live. And if you'd like to join in at any point, feel free to send us a message on any of those walls, okay? We do get quite a lot of messages come in, and depending on which way you're listening or watching the show, you only see some of the messages. As I come in here, I have to sort them out manually in my head, because very sadly, we're still waiting for members of staff to join our little happy throng on a Tuesday night, so there we are. We'll also be opening a little phone line a little bit later on. Anyone who wants to call in. I do have a few subjects scribbled down in front of me here. All right, so we'll be looking at that a little bit later. First of all, let's say hello to some of you tonight. Oh, I meant to tell you, there is also a text number, boys and girls. If you'd like to text the show, then there is a text number available.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Okay, that's the text number there, boys and girls. And, we'll get going, shall we? First of all, let's say hello to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Good evening, Vera. Jason's there. Good evening to Jason. Welcome to you. Emma's there. Good evening, Emma. Oh, my God, it's you. It certainly is, Emma. Who else would it be, my love? I'm just some silly little old lonely man. I nearly said dirty man then. Why would I say about myself? Just some sad little lonely old man sitting in a room all on his own, desperately looking for people to talk to. It is me. Emma is my lifeguard at the village. Are you really, Emma? Are you really? Hang on a minute, Emma. Emma, I can't see your... The trouble is, Emma, the pictures are so small. It's not the swimming, it's the gym. My God, it's Emma from the gym. I'm just trying to think which one you are, Emma. Are you the really pretty one? See, I know Jodie's name. I don't think I know it. I know Jodie's name, Jordan. I think they're the only two names in there. I'm sure they're the only two names in it. I don't know which one you are, Emma. She's the lifeguard. Yeah, which lifeguard? Because you all stand there looking at me. Let me tell you, it ain't a swimming, Emma. I've never got aches and pains through swimming. It's that blooming leg machine I was pushing up the other day. When I say pushing up, Emma, I don't know if you're aware, but, I've got 20 kilos on each side. Unlike some of the other lads, 25-year-old lads in there that I can't take my eyes off. They've got 100 kilos each side. How do they move it? How do they move it? Emma says that's when you know you've had a good workout. Wait until tomorrow, it will feel worse. Oh, you're joking, aren't you? I hope not. Seriously, I can't bend over to put my socks on. Terrible, isn't it? I can't get my socks on. So much pain and suffering, dear. And Mandy Davenport hasn't even whipped me. She usually looks after the pain and suffering on this channel. There we are. Thank you very much, Emma. The blonde-haired one. Yes, I've got you now. She lifts 140 kilos on the leg press. There's me, 40. Yeah, but come on. What are you, 24, 23, 22? Come on, Emma. Dear me. Jodie was in there Sunday, I think, after you, actually. And was it Sunday? Or was that yesterday? It was either Sunday or yesterday. This lad came in red shorts. Neither of us could take our eyes off him. And I always spot the old queens. The old queens, they follow the young lads into the steam room. Have you ever noticed that? Watch, Emma. You got to have your eye on the ball, my love. Have your eye on the ball there. Get Dan to do you a fitness orientation. It will get you lifting more. Well, maybe. I think I need to get used to this lot again. 4 weeks I haven't been in there. You haven't seen me much. I've been so ill. Not when I say so ill, I don't mean severely ill. Just something hanging around which has been completely zapping the energy out of me. And a bit of a chest going on. It does seem to have cleared since we came back from Paris, which I'll be telling you about in a moment. So very good evening to you there. All right, my love. Let's say hello to George. Evening to George Bond this evening. There's our Mandy. Evening to Gary Ross. Evening, Gary. Rob said it's been a long old 2 weeks, ain't it? How are we all doing? Well, I'm all right. Thank you very much, Rob. Yeah, we haven't been here for 2 weeks, have we? What with all my travelling, so much to talk to you about. And then you can ring in as well if you want to a little bit later on when we open the phone lines. Scroll down here. Sorry, leg press. That's the thing. Yeah, that's what she was calling it there. There we are. Leg press. That's the thing I was having that I think has done the trouble there. Rob has noticed the Steve Allen tray. Those of you with video watching, I have a Steve Allen tray behind me. This great Steve Allen from LBC. As always, gang, if you're listening on Reach on Air, feel free to use the Reach on Air message system to send us a message, okay? As well as the other various formats. I'm going to give you the text number again in a moment. If you want to text in, that appears straight on my screen, then you can do that as well. I'll give you that text in. Go and get yourself a pen just in case you want to join in with that, all right? Gary Ross says the pain grinding your teeth on certain phone calls tonight and no means to do. Well, you never guaranteed a phone call, actually, Gary. There's a lot of people on various different radio stations, including this one, actually, that rely on messages and get very upset when they don't get any. Listen, you must never, ever rely on messages coming in to keep your show going. You should be able to do a show without any messages at all. I can do hours of chat without any messages at all, believe me, my loves. All right? So there we are. Darren says, sorry you have pain and suffering. Yeah, I really have. It's not so, it's just the inside of my legs. My arms have started going as well a bit today, kind of on the outside where the bingo wings are hanging. I'm sure, Emma, you've noticed those a few times, haven't you, eh? Dear me. And it's all right, Mandy. It's all right, Mandy. I didn't play the jingle then, specifically not to alert you to any problem that was going on here, dear. All right. Hello to Fran Green, John Parrish. Rebel Bert has been to the doctor today. He said, bend over. And as I did, I farted. It was so embarrassing, dear. Well, you should hold that in. It's not very nice, is it? Farting in front of people, dear. Dear me. Can you not hold that in a little bit? Try harder, Rebel. I know it's hard at your age, to hold certain things in like that. I mean, quite honestly, I've heard that occasionally when you're going down your local supermarket, your guts literally drop out onto the floor and you have to hold them in a bucket. Is that right? Thanks for the lightning bolts there, Vera. Oh, yes, Emma, you probably wouldn't notice it. As a gay man, I can tell exactly what's going on in there. And it's not just that. Some of the older fellas that you talk to, and indeed the older ladies, the older you get, Emma, the more you notice going on. Because you're not really on your own... you're not really on your own sort of agenda, if you see what I mean. You're not really on an agenda. You observe. You can see everything going on. When I do my karaoke at the pub in London, Central Station in Wharfdale Road in King's Cross, I do that every Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 11 o'clock. When I'm doing that, I can see everything that's going on in there, everything. I can see people who are talking about me. I can see people in the corner hiding cans of lager. I mean, I've seen two people doing something under the table before. It was hilarious. And I put my hands on their shoulders and I said, excuse me, lads, can you not do that under the table? They did not know where to look. I wouldn't get anyone in trouble or anything like that. But seriously, you can absolutely tell what's going on as you get older. You can see it, especially the people that are talking about you. They think that they can talk about you and you don't notice. I see everything in that pub. Everything. Thank you, Vera, for the lightning bolts, but it's not made my legs any better, darling. Vera sees everything going on as well, don't you, Vera? We are the eyes. We are the Magoos of this world. We are Mrs. Magoo. Yes. Hello to Maureen joining us on the YouTube. Good evening to you, Maureen. Welcome along to the show. Hope you're well, Maureen. I've not seen you for a while. I know it's getting a little bit too busy for you in there. But I felt, a little bit too busy in there for you. Funnily enough, Maureen, this week it switched round. The Saturday was busier than the Friday. But you never know. It's one of those things. Evening to Shania. Good evening to Shania, who's head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, which she's not really, she's just an altar server, but don't tell her that. She's head of the Catholic, she's just an altar server, honestly, that's all. She's head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, and Shania says Vectis Radio, where she does a show on the Isle of Wight, you see, have just won a Community Radio Station of the Year award. Da, 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 da. Well done. Do you think I'll ever win any awards, Shania? I mean, I've got a few awards for DJing over the years. I mean, it's a long time ago now. I should have the certificate here somewhere. I wonder if I've got it there. I can only see my Slimming World certificate at the moment. Yeah, and that's from 5 years ago. God, I've piled it on over the last few weeks. Absolutely piled it on. Well done there. Yes, Community Radio Station of the Year at the Radio Academy UKARIA Awards. Well done. Well done to all. Well, particularly, I think it's your show that won it, to be honest, Vera. I reckon it's your show that won that. Absolutely, without any thought in my books. It's a good job they didn't listen while Vectis wasn't there, isn't it, my love? Incidentally, have you got rid of that woman yet? You know the one. Anyway, so that's it. Hello to Greg. Good evening to Greg. Welcome along, Greg. And Gary Ross texted in a little while ago there. Don't forget that text number, boys and girls.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Alrighty, boys and girls. As usual, if you're listening and watching on YouTube, you will get different music to the people listening by all the other methods, including Reach on Air, who get normal music. That's due to copyright restrictions. So, I'll tell you all about my holiday after this little tune.
An ache inside of me. It's a deep hole where I bleed. Oh, can I see you lit? You're like an ocean without land. Not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold, yet warm. When you hold me, when you close, I know. The grave. I'm
with the text on deck, so my ace boom boom, no flex, no.
And welcome back, boys and girls. Paul in Ashford sends a message. Good evening from Paul in Ashford. Miss looking forward to my weekly Picard fix. Now, what's he going on about? Picard, one of the Star Trek series, and has very, very sadly come to an end. And it was the best Star Trek series ever. It really was. I thought the new... what's it called now? The new one that's very like the original, which is coming back in a couple of weeks' time, mid-June, I think it is. Strange New Worlds, that's it. I thought Star Trek Strange New Worlds was really good, but the Picard series has been excellent. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to tell you the ending, but it was a great ending. It's much better than the ending I expected, and that's all I want to say there. All right. Evening to... Did we say hello to Fran Green? I think we did. And LaBelle is in the house. Shania says, just an altar server? Excuse me. I'm a very important person. Yes, darling, I know you're a very important person. A very important altar server. She walks around with her clipboard. Yeah. She checks up when I'm playing the organ at church, you know. She watches back on the recording and sees how many mistakes I've made. Talking of mistakes, the reader on Sunday at the 8:30 mass, for some strange reason, forgot the second reading. You've got to be in it to know. You've got to be in it to know. All right. Okay, boys and girls. Holidays, as you know. By the way, don't forget, gang, do feel free to send us a message on the Reach on Air message system as well. And that will come up straight in front of me there. All right. Holidays. I've been away twice since we last spoke. First of all, with my nephew and his family to Haven Holidays, to the Wild Duck Haven holiday place, which is in Norfolk, Great Yarmouth. And it is the first place I ever spent a holiday in a caravan. And I remember it some years ago now. And I remember when they said, we've got you a holiday. Oh, have you? Where's that? Oh, it's a caravan holiday. And when I put the phone down, I thought, my God, what have I let myself in for? You know, old caravan, bit drafted. It couldn't have been further from the truth. These static caravans that they have on holiday parks are extremely comfortable with full central heating and all the mod cons, everything you could want. In fact, on this particular holiday, my nephew, I have one caravan and they have another because he's got his family. My nephew, his wife, and the two children. After they lost Olivia a couple of years ago. Actually, it's Olivia's birthday. It would have been Olivia's birthday tomorrow. I think that would have made her 6, 7, or 8 tomorrow. So they're going down to the beach to celebrate that. Of course, as I say, Olivia. They lost Olivia just over. I think it's coming up to 2 years ago now. So they'll be going down there to celebrate. It's funny, you know, we all celebrate, I think many of us celebrate people's birthdays and perhaps specific dates once they have gone. And I indeed always go down to my mum and dad's grave on my mum's birthday with a cake. And I have half the cake, you know, usually. And I leave the other half there, which mysteriously disappears by the next time I get it. I expect little animals and things eat that are running around the cemetery. So, yes, we went back to the Wild Duck place. And it was lovely, actually. It was a lovely family holiday. Wasn't busy at all there, strangely enough. We were quite lucky with the weather. It was a little bit cold, but generally sunny, except on the last day when it was raining. I think from the afternoon, and it was a lovely little time we had. My nephew's wife actually did the evening meal. She cooked the evening meals, and we went out for something, usually for the lunches. I think probably our nicest lunch out would be the carvery. We went to a carvery, and I don't know about you, I always stuff myself silly at carveries. Do you do that? I mean, it's crazy, really, because you could have a decent, you know, not overpriced dinner and walk away, or you can sit there and stuff yourself as much as you, and then think, oh, blimey, I've eaten too much now. Why do we do that at carveries? It's probably because it's all free, isn't it? You know, on the other hand, there's nothing worse than going into a restaurant and not getting enough food. And God knows that's happened to me before, like that. There's a couple of places, in particular, you know which one I'm going to mention, don't you? The Chain Bridge restaurant in Boston. I shall never go back there again after complaining the amount of chips I had there. You know, where's the chip? That's a portion, mate. Never went back there again, especially dreadful service it was. Dreadful. Hello to Nellie B. Welcome, Nellie B, darling. All right? I mean, it's just... Oh, no. Anyway, so that was probably the highlight meal when we went out for meals. The highlight meal what Stacey cooked, that's Gary's wife, would have been a corn or soya cottage pie, shepherd's pie, which was absolutely delicious. There's so much of it. You know, she piles this plate up and she brings it over and she says, there you go. I said, I can't eat all that. And she says, you say that every time. Then you ask for more when it's finished. So that was great. More importantly, the children had a fantastic time, I think. We did various activities. They did archery one day. I didn't do that. They were quite near sort of a children's play area. Gary had a great nephew Harry, who's 8. He had this football, and somehow Gary, his dad, my nephew, managed to kick that up and get it stuck in a tree, which cost him, I think, 30 quid, because we then had to go down to Sports Direct and buy another one. And he bought the other one and kicked that up at the tree and managed to get the old one back down. I said, we should take the other one back to Sports Direct. Funnily enough, while I was in Sports Direct, I picked up a few T-shirts myself. Very good quality Slazenger T-shirts. Right? I just happened to be nosing around in there and I picked up this T-shirt. It was £10 or so. Oh, I'm not paying £10 for a T-shirt. You know, not like it was when I was younger. I would spend £70, £80 on one T-shirt. Not anymore, mate. In fact, I found an even better bargain in Sports Direct. 2 T-shirts, 15 quid, £7.50 each. And they're good quality. They're not thin thing. Actually, I've got one on at the moment. This is one of them. I've got it on now. I've got a white T-shirt from Slazenger T-shirts, all the way from Sports Direct. It's got a little logo on somewhere. There it is, like I don't know, what is it, like a cat? Is it a Puma or something? But it's not Puma, it's Slazenger. I can't find the logo now. Where have I done with that? Oh, there it is. There's the logo. It's like I don't know, a lion or something like that. And then they're not thin. These are quality T-shirts. In actual fact, I've got a load of them in my tool boy in the bedroom. I thought I'd have a sort out with T-shirts the other day. I've got Slazenger T-shirts that must have come from Sports Direct, which must be 15 years old, 15 to 20 years old. They don't seem to lose their colour. They don't seem to get any thinner every time you wash them. They're really good quality. £7.50, you can't go wrong. And I bought 2 white ones, a teal one, which great niece Evie chose. She liked the colour of that, and a sort of pale yellow one. For 4 T-shirts, 30 quid. Thank you very much. Can anyone do better than that? Exactly. So that was one of our days. We also spent some time in Great Yarmouth, which I'm sorry, I thought it was a dump. I mean, it's so run down. I really thought it was a dump. There were some very strange characters walking around in there, including a man. I don't know if he had puppets or gloves or what he was doing, but he was kind of sitting with this ghetto blaster at the end of this kind of pavement thing going towards the market. And very, very odd indeed. Anyway, we went that way because we were going to the market because our lovely Fran Green recommended a chip stand there. And we did find the chip stand, but honestly, it was just too cold to eat outside. So we popped in this restaurant, which was on a corner. Seems to be a family-run place. Very nice lady in there. And she served us, and we were all very satisfied with the food in there. Then on the way back, I popped into the Catholic church that was there. Lovely. I think it was called St. Mary's in Great Yarmouth. And I went in there. It needs decorating. It's a bit run down in there. They had the most beautiful wind organ right up in the loft. But I was the only one in there, just having a little look around. It looks like it needs a really good paint. It's as clean as you can get, but you can see it's kind of rotting away a little bit on the inside, which is a great shame, really. Nellie B says, one of my neighbours is from Great Yarmouth. She looks a bit like Grot Bags from the Pink Windmill, but hairier. Fran says it's the famous Puppet Man. So funny. Is that who it was? Does he go there every day, Fran? He was just standing up there doing these puppets. He looked a bit odd. He wasn't the only one who looked odd, but I'm afraid we weren't impressed at all with Great Yarmouth. While I was in the church, great niece Evie bought me a little gift. I'm just trying to remember what it was now, actually. What did she buy me? And great nephew Harry bought me a gift, which was a bag of fudge, which disappeared very quickly into my gullet. Then from there, we walked down to the end and we all had some ice creams, which was really nice. A little bit pricey on the ice creams, I think. And then we got back in the van and came back to the caravan site. The only thing is it was a quiet week. There weren't many people there at all, which has its own benefits in that the swimming pool wasn't particularly busy. And we went swimming twice. It was I couldn't do lengths in there because there were people in there, but I managed to do widths. And instead of doing my usual 60 lengths, I did 100 widths in there, which was great. I told you the caravan's very comfortable. The entertainment, oh no, not good. Not good. There was one person in there who did his best. You know, he was one of the Haven staff. And he was on once while I was there. And then he was on again, apparently, once I'd gone home, I think on the Thursday night. And he just didn't have it. You know, admittedly, some of the songs were in tune. Right? He wasn't in tune all the time. But he lacked the X factor, yeah? He didn't have any sparkle about him at all. He was friendly enough on the stage and doing his best, but I thought, no, you shouldn't be on that stage, mate. You know, some people aren't made to do that. I'm sure he's very good at stuff, but I thought, no, wrong job for you, mate. So he wasn't very good at that. There was a couple of girls who came and sung as well on various other nights. And they were okay. Don't get me wrong, they were all right actually, but they just didn't have they just didn't have an audience. There was no audience there. We were sitting in the corner with our bags of crisps and Pringles. Pringles. I managed to, while we was in Great Yarmouth, there was a pound shop there. I managed to get a whole tube of Pringles, £1. Thank you very much. I got 2 barbecue ones and a plain one, right? So we sat there eating those because, of course, in Haven, you can only buy like a small one, which is about a third the size of the big ones, and they're like 3 times the price, £3. I was shocked at the price of a glass of Coca-Cola. How much is that now, eh? That was nearly £4. But that's how it is in bars. Fortunately, we don't really drink. You know, if you're a drinker, you can say goodbye to an awful lot of money on these holidays and in pubs and places like that. But there we are. So a little bit let down with the entertainment. The fruit machines, the old arcade business, they've always got arcades. And they have, I gotta tell you, the most ridiculous thing going on in there. If you use the 2p machines, which the kids like very much, they're the ones, you put the 2p in the little thing on the end there and it rolls down and there's some more 2p, 2 shelves of 2p's moving backwards and forwards, and you drop your 2p down there, it drops there, pushes some forward, they fall there, pushes something forward, and hopefully you get some fall out and into the little receptacle underneath, along with prizes and all that. So they did that, and I have to say, Evie was concerned that this set of cards, which were part of the prize, they were sitting on top of the 2p pieces, these cards, right? She thought it was stuck. So she said, I'm going to go and get the man. I said, well, don't do that. You haven't won anything. Yeah, but they're not going to move. I'm going to go and get the man. And off she went. Excuse me, sir. She brings this man over. What's the problem? I think they're stuck there. Oh, right, okay. So he's opened his phone. First of all, he's picked up the cards and there you go, well done. Oh, and I thought, well, he's just given her the prize. There. And he then moved all the other prizes on there. And they're only little things. Yeah, we're not talking about £10 notes or anything. Little plastic things worth just a few pence each. That sort of little rubbery type thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he moved these things forward to the front where the coins are and then closed. There you go. I said, that's really nice of you, mate. He said, they got to win something, haven't they? And then, of course, she then sat on the machine for not too long, to be honest, and won all the prizes. They just kept falling off. And I was very, very impressed with that little kindness that he did. Actually, someone else did a kindness in there to us, and I can't remember who it was now. There was some other kind person did a member of staff are going. I mean, good staff. They're happy enough, you know. They have kids things going on in the evening and all that business. So that was the arcade. They have a chip shop in there. We didn't buy any chips from there. I remember the last time we were there, which was about 5 years ago now, and we bought chips from there. We were a bit rank, to be honest. They had a little like mini market there where you can buy your little bits and pieces. Oh, that was it. And we was in there one day, and Harry, we'd just come out of swimming. Harry noticed that I had left a £1 coin in my changing room. So I've got my changing room. Harry's in with his dad. Eva's in with her mum, right? His changing room is next to mine. I've come out of mine. I said, I'll see you around the front. And I'm sitting on his ear. As they come around the front, Gary said, did you leave anything in your dressing room? I said, oh, yeah, my £1. Well, I've got it now. Harry's. I said, well, give us it back then. No, I've got it now. It's mine now. He wouldn't give it back. Anyway, we then went into the co-op. Yeah, I think I bought him some sweets. No, a sausage roll. A vegan sausage roll I had. And Gary bought stuff and the kids had something. And in there, unbeknown to me, he lost the £1. You know, which is clearly God punishing him for stealing the £1 from Uncle Chris. That's what's going on there. I'm convinced of that. So that was that day. The next day we were in there, and I'd been having a joke with one of the members of staff, who was a lady about 50 years old, 55 years old she was. I was having a joke. And as I'm in there, she's come up to Harry and she says, oh, I found your £1. I'll go and get it for you. Yeah, she'd found the £1 that he'd dropped and kept it until we came back in. So I'm very, very touched with those two levels of kindness given to us at Haven Holidays by the staff. So I'm blown away by that. Absolutely blown away by those two things that have happened. And that was it, really. We had a lovely time, Haven Holidays. So that was that. And I've got another holiday to tell you about, which is Paris. Meanwhile, let's read some of your lovely messages. Built in Scotland said, it's a puppet. I'm a puppet. Excuse me, I'm not a puppet. I have never had a hand up. No, it doesn't matter anyway. Thank you, Built in Scotland, and good evening to you. Good evening to Posh Twink Carl. Evening to you, my darling. Greetings to you. Jonesy is there. Good evening, Jonesy. And Claire Ambler. Evening, Claire. Whereabouts are you, Claire? You're new there, aren't you, darling? Charlie Chaplin is usually in that spot, and you can find him on the internet. I haven't seen him. I don't think we saw Charlie Chaplin there, walking around there. All right, I just want to do some of these messages while they're there. The text messages are being a little bit slow to come in at the moment, but don't forget you can send a text scan.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Okay, my darling. Let's have a look there. Rob says, don't you have a cheeky venture into the steam room in your gym occasionally? No, I don't. No, doesn't. Not in there. I used to be in chariots all the time, as you well know. But no. I'm there to do swimming and gym. That's it. And I like all the staff. I really quite like the staff up at the village. And there, what I don't like is the food in the restaurant. They changed the menu, and it was blooming awful. Really awful, their new menu. So I had this veggie burger in there, and the texture was all wrong, and the taste was horrible. And actually, for 2 days after that, and I didn't put this 2 and 2 together, I had a little bit of a tummy problem. And I don't know if it probably wasn't that, but still, you kind of put 2 and 2 together. So no, I don't go into that steam room. Good evening to Richard Crooks. Evening to Richard. Welcome along to the show there, Richard. Nice to have you along there. Gary Ross always goes to the sale rail in JD Sports. Usually spend about a £5 on a t-shirt, which is very reasonable. I don't like the thin t-shirts, Gary. Do you know the ones I mean? That thin material. Because if you're not the right shape, you just look like a sack of old potatoes, don't you? Awful. Hello, Natalie. All right, darling. Hello, Natalie. Jason says those shirts certainly last the 5 hours in the tumble dryer. Well, they do. They do. They absolutely do. There we are. Now, shall we have another little song here? Let's play you another song, boys and girls, and then I'll tell you about my Paris holiday, all right? And also, we'll open the phone lines, okay? Let's have another little song.
A regular tool, but some things you just don't realize, even though they're happening right in front of your eyes. I'm not even sure just what went wrong.
Welcome back, my darlings.
Reach on air.
Carl, how are we this evening? Very well, thank you, Carl. Very well indeed. Actually, what we'll do now, I think we're going to open the phone line now, okay? So if you want to call in, I'd be interested to hear about any memorable holidays that you've had before. Could be something really great, or perhaps the worst holiday you've ever had, or whatever. If you've got any holidays you want to talk to me about tonight, you can call in. While I'm waiting to see if anyone does call in, we don't always get calls in. That's okay if you don't want to, but it'd be nice to talk to you about holidays this evening. There is a call-in number, which I'm about to give you. Please stand by with your pens and papers. Do I have that on there? Yes, I do. Here is the phone-in number. Ready?
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
All right, that's the phone-in number. Tell me about your holidays, past, where you've been. Was there anything memorable? Did anything funny happen? Was it a complete disaster? Maybe you turned up to the hotel and there's a building site out the back or something like that. I want to know about it.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Could you have been laying there on a beach and you got your eyes closed and suddenly you thought, oh, something's touched me. And a scorpion had crawled out from the sand and had started pecking away at your toes. I want to know about it.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
Okay, what do you know? Anything like that? So, as well as that, I've also been to Paris with my friend, and that was to celebrate his 50th birthday. More about that after this call. Hello, who's calling in on 720?
Bonsoir, mon ami. It's Mark.
Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va?
Oui, très bien, monsieur. Et toi?
Oh, bonjour. Ça va bien, merci. Et vous? Ouvrez la fenêtre. Who is it?
Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. How are you, Mark from Welsh Wales? Where were you this
Good,
morning?
thank you. Sorry?
Where were you this morning?
I had technical issues.
What?
My
Dear
computer
Mark.
just refused to connect to the internet.
You're what?
Computer refused to connect to the internet.
Computer is offline. We apologise for any inconvenience. You were missed. I give you the big build-up. People were promising to listen. And then there I was after the show. I went into the toilet. Shut up, woman. Shut up. Tell her to shut up, please. One conversation at a time, my love. People, do you know, people have been tasered for that sort of response. You know that? Tasered. Have you got a taser there? Very
No,
illegal.
I don't have a taser.
Do you know what? If you ever go to America, they sell... You know when you're in, like, 7-Eleven, a little corner shop or that, there you go, you buy your bottles of water, a few bags of crisps, and a taser. I kid you not. They got tasers on the glass cabinet in front of the till. That's what you need.
Crazy.
Keep her mouth shut for either that or a roll of gaffer tape. I'm recommending people that go to the coronation take with them rolls of gaffer tape, just in case we get one of, oh, not my king, not my king, not gaffer tape. That's what they need round their faces.
The question I have for you, Chris.
Question.
the question I
Sorry,
asked this
has a
morning-
light come on somewhere saying questions are being taken? Sorry, have I missed something?
I wanted to know who your favourite royal is.
My favourite royal, Princess Anne.
That's a good answer.
Princess Anne, absolutely. That woman works tirelessly and don't even mention it. She works and works and works her little cotton socks off. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yep.
I
Princess
think
Anne.
that's a good answer because
Don't even-
she is the
Yeah.
the quiet bread maker of the royal family. She's
Absolutely.
The one that
She's a bit like my mum,
there-
doing stuff for everything else, and she comes second. My mum was exactly the same as her. Yeah, Princess Anne. I didn't even have to think about that answer, could I, my love?
No, you didn't.
No. Yes. Any more questions?
No, if you want to ask me questions.
Yes, I do. Tell me about one of your favourite holidays of all time. Sorry, I'm just having a
Would
fit
have
now.
to
What?
probably be when I took the train across Germany, Switzerland, and then back into France. So I took a train trip for my 21st birthday.
Right.
On my 18th birthday was a trip to Disneyland Paris, which was magical. But the trip across Switzerland, I went on the Glacier Express.
Oh, me and my mate want to do that.
And I took the Bermuda Express.
Yep.
The one that you get, so we did both of them, and it was absolutely magical.
I've been looking it up, Mark. Some of the videos and all that, you know.
It's
And
expensive, though.
I can see how expensive it is, yeah. The trip to Paris was, it wasn't too bad. In actual fact, it seems to be a cheaper holiday to go all the way to Amsterdam. I don't know what's at Amsterdam. We're not interested in going to smoke drugs in restaurants. That's not us at all. But what is there in Amsterdam to do? I have to look. I haven't looked that up yet. Perhaps you know, do you?
I don't know. I've not looked at Amsterdam for holidays.
Okay.
Not really. We tend to look at going to Spain.
España, hola, hola. Yeah, they got heat wave there at the moment. 39 degrees the other day in April. God, what's it going to be like in August? When I looked at, did you see the maps on the telly of the heat that was going on in Spain? It was only a few days ago, actually, and it was actually
I saw the forecast.
yeah. When you looked at the map and the way this wind was coming up, I think from the Sahara or something like that, it's like, and I looked at it and I thought, well, just another few miles and that would have actually got to us. But as you probably noticed, it didn't. Never mind, eh? What did you do in Switzerland? So you just rode the train and looked at the scenery, or what?
So yes, it was basically a guided tour of the Swiss railways.
Lovely.
So we the first day we travelled into Germany, and then we went down. We stayed overnight in Cologne.
May I ask,
And then
how did you get to Switzerland? Was that a flight or was it train?
No, it was all on train. So Eurostar through to Brussels, then Brussels to Cologne on the train, and Cologne to Zurich, and then Zurich onto a regional train to our base, which is Chur, which is in the middle of the Rhetian
Right.
region of Switzerland, and then that was our base then for 3 days.
Gosh.
And we did the Bermuda Express on the first day, and the second day was an exploring day, and then the third day we went up to Zermatt.
Right.
I think I can't remember the exact details, but I remember we did bits with the big group, and then we had our own individual times to explore.
Oh, how wonderful! Now you see, this is sounding like my 61st birthday, to be honest, because that's an expensive trip. You know, it's not like a quick getaway for a few days, is it? How long were you there for?
I think vaguely recall it was 8 days.
Worth every penny, was it?
Absolutely.
All the food on the train?
No, they didn't. We didn't have dining. It was just
okay.
The Swiss pass didn't
Yes.
include dining. It was just were guaranteed a seat on the train,
Yeah.
but you could buy things on the train to eat.
Okay. Little sandwiches and things like that. What did you do? Take food on with you? Did you?
Yes, pretty much.
Yep.
Sandwiches and things,
Okay.
and then we had a big meal in the evenings.
And was that in like various? Did you sleep on the train, or was that? How does that work?
No, it was a day. So you'd have the day on the train and the evening in a hotel.
Right. And then
So
after you got off the train, would there be time to look around before you went to
yes,
the?
you'd have a couple of hours to look around. So I had a couple of hours to look around Chur. the first night evening, and then
Yes.
when we transferred, I think we went to Brig
Yes.
for the last little bit of the holiday,
Right.
and that was you got to explore that in the evening, and you had a day of exploration the next day before you then moved on to the next phase of the trip.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. See, because I like trains. I like sitting there. I like sitting on the Eurostar. I just like, I think this could be my next birthday thing.
There's a gentleman who did a trip over the last few days where he went from London on the Eurostar, and he's gone all the way through up into Scandinavia, all on the train.
Wow. And
It's on Twitter. I'll send you the links to the tweets.
is he
You
coming
can
back?
have a read through.
Is he coming back
Yes,
on
I
the,
believe he's coming back by train as
on
well.
the same route? Wow.
I think he's coming back a different way. So he's going up
Yeah.
one way and coming back a different way.
How lovely. Well, thanks for telling us about that. Did you buy anything in Switzerland or Germany?
I did. I bought what they call a Schrag glass, which is a tilted glass
Right.
that basically, because of the angle that the Glacier Express goes on, a conventional glass would tip over.
Okay.
So a Schrag glass basically has got an angled base. It's a wine glass with an angled base.
Oh, okay. Right. I didn't know that.
But I got back home and it was shattered.
Oh, just unlucky, mate. Will you shut
I
up,
thought-
woman?
I-
Shut up! God, isn't she noisy tonight?
She's happy. She's had a good day today.
Is she happy? Well, you can put her on in a minute. Put her on after you. Who did you go with, by the way?
I went on my own. So, I had a pen friend who lived in America who was mad on his trains.
Right.
Who'd been across all of the US on train, had done most of Europe, but had not done the routes that we'd done.
Right.
So him and his lady friend came, and so it was good. It was good.
How
That was
fantastic
just
is that?
me and them.
I heard that in America they've got new trains. Did you hear anything about that?
They're coming onto the Northeast Corridor, I believe.
Yeah, they've got some brand
And
new
also,
train.
California are having a high-speed railway as well.
Right. Because trains have always... We never really hear about the American trains, do we? We always hear about trains in various parts of Europe and all that. Never America. And actually never Australia either. And I noticed that Australia they're pushing a holiday at the moment on train as well. I don't know if you'd seen that advertised somewhere.
I've heard of the Australian long-distance trains.
Yeah.
But they're just expensive because they're run by the Venice Simplon Orient Express company.
Oh, are they? Are they?
So they all of the luxury trains in the world are run by one company.
I didn't know that.
VSOE, which operate the Pullman trains
Yes.
here in the UK, also operate obviously the Venice Simplon Express over in Europe.
Right.
But there's also everyone. There's a couple in America and there's the ones in Australia, which are all operated by the same tour company.
Yeah, I mean, Vera actually sent me a little interesting thing about the Orient Express. If I can just bring that up now. Let's have a look there. Yeah, it's in, here's the independent part of it. The Orient Express is scrapping its UK section. Did you know this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, after 41 years. And they're blaming Brexit for it. Let's have a look. It's happening next year. London to Folkestone leg of the Orient Express to be axed after 41 years due to Brexit border check disruption, with one rail expert describing the removal of the train as a sad loss. It says for the past 41 years, passengers have boarded the British Pullman at Victoria. They get off at Folkestone, cross the channel by coach and continue from Calais. You're going to have to go to Folkestone to get it.
We'll go to Calais, basically.
Yeah,
to board.
or Calais, yeah. Yeah, they're stopping the bit here in next year it is. So, I mean, you could still get on it. That's probably a really expensive thing to do, isn't it?
very expensive. Yes. So if we ever win the lottery, then that's one of the things that we'll have to do.
Orient Express. Let's see if we can find somewhere to go. I don't know. We've just had a message from the lovely LaBelle. Hello, LaBelle. She's an American and she says there aren't too many places that can run trains through where she is. I don't suppose New York. I mean, you're fairly built up. But to go like right across the states, you see? I mean, it would take a lot longer, I suppose. But
it takes days. Because you have, from New York, you'd have to go to somewhere like Chicago.
Right.
And then I think you'd have to go across to, say, there's a couple of routes that go across the Midwest. So you'd end up, I think, either in Seattle or in, I think, Salt Lake City is the other one. So you either end up in the north or in the south.
Yes.
And then you've then got to make your way. But it's such a long-winded way about it. That's why America is so car and truck oriented, because it's easier. Yes, the freight train network there is extensive. But for passenger use, it's just easy to hop on a car.
Do you know that song, Freight Train? Freight train, goes so fast. Freight train, da da da. Do you know that at all? No, don't know it, do you?
No, probably a little bit before my time.
Oh my God, that's 90s. That was one of the first records I ever put on. Now I'm finding Orient Express. What I'm not getting. Oh, here we go. London to Venice and Venice to Amsterdam on the Orient Express. Prices from. Go on, have a guess. From.
I'd say about £3,000.
£4,395 per person.
Not far off my guess then.
That's from. Oh, there's one here. Prague to London on the Venice Simplon Orient Express. Prices from £3,695 per person. Oh my God! Look at this one. Right, Paris to Instant. What did you say?
Istanbul.
Paris to Istanbul aboard the Venice Simplon Orient Express. Prices from. Go on.
At least £6,000.
£21,495. Jesus.
Fly first class in Emirates from that.
I think you can fly first class to Australia for that. Now, let's see what we get for that, shall we? Let's see what we get for that. It's only 8 nights. Blimey, I thought that was for the month. It includes flights with British Airways from Istanbul to London. 8-9 day holiday. I mean, what a fantastic thing to do, though. £21,000 per person. It include, if I can just tell you what this includes, your 3 nights aboard the luxurious Venice Simplon Orient Express train. So you're sleeping on there, obviously. Dedicated Venice Simplon Orient Express steward service, welcome glass of champagne, exquisite 4-course dinner each night while aboard the train, seasonal table to menu including cheese board, coffee, tea, and petit pois. Will you shut up? Can you shut up?
Sorry to shush again.
Dear me. Delicious 3-course lunch every day aboard a continental breakfast served in your cabin. Bucharest city tour, private dinner, overnight hotel accommodation, delightful 3-course brunch, visit to Pelly's Castle, Budapest city tour, Danube cruise with lunch, private dinner, overnight hotel accommodation, sunsets aperitif at Lake Balaton. Wow. That's
some very good experiences there, though. For the price.
£21,000. Here it is. London to Paris. And then on the Orient Express. Then arrival in Budapest, day 2. Budapest to Bucharest, day 3. Day 4, tour to Sinaia and arrival into Bucharest. Day 5, Bucharest to Istanbul. Day 6, scenic journey through Turkey to Istanbul. Day 7 and 8, exploring Istanbul. Day 9, Istanbul to London. I mean, is it first class on the plane? Don't know. And then it tells you all the
I would
hotels.
hope so for the price that you're paying.
Start saving now, bitches. Wow. £21,000. Who wants to take me? I'm easy. I'm easy going. Anyone who wants to take me, please.
Natalie says, "See, well, with whose money though, Natalie?"
Crazy prices. I mean, I would come with you and Natalie, but she wouldn't be able to keep her mouth shut, would she? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd be in the room. I'd be on that. I'd be look. Can you keep it down in there, please? Oh well, Mark. Well, thanks ever so much for calling in.
Okay. Just a quick word of our Natalie.
Yeah, go on. Say hello, Natalie.
Okay, he can have a quick word.
Oh, she's got all excited now.
Hello, Chris.
Listen, don't get so excited. I don't want you to wee yourself while you're talking to me, my love. No, it does happen. It happens. Sometimes if you laugh a lot, a little bit of wee comes out, doesn't it? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Mark, go and check that the
wine,
settee
that's
isn't
why.
damp now, eh?
I've had some wine, that's why.
How are you,
Playing
Natalie?
more giggly.
Can-
I'm fine.
What was the best holiday you went on? Because of course, you don't have any eyesight, do you? And so I wonder, what would you look for in a holiday?
Isle of Man, because I love the Isle of Man. We went there on our honeymoon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Tell me about the Isle of Man then.
They had trams, they had lovely places to go.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
Was the weather all right?
the weather was gorgeous.
Hotel?
Yeah,
Did you-
lovely.
Did you have a special wedding suite there, or just a normal room, or what?
No, just a normal room, really.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
just a normal room, Chris.
Lovely. Well, it does sound nice. I've never been to
yeah, we had-
Guernsey or Jersey or anywhere like that. I haven't
No,
been to those ones.
Never.
And they're not.
We went to Rhodes. My dad hired a motorbike.
Sorry,
Rhodes
where did
next
you
to
say that
sea.
was? Where?
Rhodes next to sea.
Rhodes.
Rhodes next to sea. And my dad hired a motorbike.
Right.
So I went on the back of it, and my mum didn't, and my brother did, and then that was it. And I didn't really like it, Rhodes, to
Didn't
be
like
honest with you.
I've never been on a motorbike.
I have.
No, I've never been.
My
I
dad's
keep
got
waiting.
some.
I've got this straight friend of mine, Mark Bowles, who's listening this evening. Good evening, Mark. And I keep hoping that he's going to turn up here on one of those great big motorbikes, and I'm have to kind of sit behind him and hold on for dear life as he tears through down a motorway somewhere, to
Yeah,
Box
me
Hill.
too.
Box Hill or somewhere like that. And then we get off the
Yeah.
bike and we just lay on the grass somewhere, Be quite nice, wouldn't it?
It would actually have a glass of wine in your hand. Or beer.
I've not even been on one of those electric scooters.
Oh, Mark's got,
I've not even been on one
Mark's
of
got a
those.
scooter.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a
It's not
bike.
electric.
Did
Mark's- Go on, Chris, sorry.
you say your one isn't electric?
No, Mark's got one.
Okay.
Mark's got a scooter. He has to put a key in. And
Oh,
he
right,
can drive it on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's good on it 'cause, yeah, he goes shopping with it.
Does he?
You see, if I have a carer in, support worker in,
Okay.
he goes shopping for me, and I go with him sometimes
Oh,
as
that's
well.
nice. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't thought
I go
about
with
holding
him.
on to him on the same scooter, stepping on the back of it?
No, I can't fit on it. It's little on it.
Mark has just sent me a
I've tried
message.
big one.
Mark says, have a ride any day of the week. Isn't that kind of him? Well,
Yeah.
turn up, Mark. Turn up. You're in Somerset. It'll only take you a couple of hours to get here. Go and borrow one of your mates' motorbikes. That's what I say. Yes.
Nice.
All right, darling. Well, nice to talk to you, Nat.
Nice to talk to you, Chris.
You look after
Again.
yourself, both of you. Thanks for calling in, all right?
Bye.
Bye-bye now. There we are, just telling us about the Orient Express. What a wonderful experience that must be. Anyone who's been on that, gosh, I'd love to it. Fran says she would love to go to the Isle of Man, especially for the TT races. And LaBelle says we have AM track. That's it, the American Railways that goes up and down the coast, but not clear across the state. So thanks for that, LaBelle. You're a bike, did you say? No, Mark. I'd like to go on your bike, dear. God's sake. Very good evening to London, Posh Twink Carl. Good evening, Carl.
Hello, how are you?
All right, I am all well and happy here in the happy world of Chris Reardon. Although slightly disappointed today.
Why is that?
Thank you for asking. I knew you'd be interested. My battery didn't arrive.
Oh,
No, it's not arrived. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow now, because the idea is, people that don't know, I had a new solar system put in. I've already got one. This is in addition, which also included batteries, so I can store the electricity. I was so pleased with that. I ordered another battery, which should have come today, for the man to fit tomorrow. Now, that's not the only work he's got to do. He has to finish off some other stuff. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen tomorrow now. Well, he might have to come back a third time, which is a bit of a pain, really. But, you know, it's not like I've sat here doing nothing, because I kind of had all these jobs to do anyway. So I haven't sat here doing nothing. I did a load of washing. I've had to make some inquiries. My accountant needs some more paperwork for me before he can complete my account. There's a few statements and things missing. What else did I do today? I hoovered the house. Last, Carl, I descoured my shower. You spray that stuff on the screen to get the scum off. What is it called?
what, lime scale?
That's it, lime scale. So I did some of that today with... It was kind of successful, but I didn't get all of it, if you see what I mean. Because it said spray it and leave it on. Well, you spray it, but it doesn't cover the whole thing. So where you've sprayed it and where it's run down, it's done a pretty good job. But now there's patches where there's still scale. Are you supposed to spray it and then kind of wipe it over to spread it out?
So is it on glass?
Yes, on glass, yes.
Well, the best thing to use when you're doing glass cleaning is actually use newspaper.
Oh, what? Yeah, but it's got the scale on it, though.
Well, whenever there's lime scale or anything on a surface, or especially glass, what I do is you wet the glass first, then you apply the substance, then you use whatever you use to clean the glass with. And when you're drying it off, use dry newspaper. It works all the time.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I might give it another go. It seems to be worse at the top than it is at the bottom for some reason, for some strange reason. But there we go. So I might give it another go. As I say, limited success on that one. It's got some of it off, but not all of it, certainly. Vera's just texted in, I've been on the back of an e-scooter. It was the most terrifying experience of her life. Poor thing. Poor thing. Anyway, what you got for us, Carl? You going to tell us about one of your holidays?
Yes. Well, I've been on so many, I don't know where to begin.
Oh, well, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Sorry? Did you have any scary holidays?
Oh, well, there was a scary moment, actually.
Oh, yes.
Back in 2017, when we went to Lanzarote, the Canary Islands. It was actually in August.
It's volcanic there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very volcanic, yes.
Right.
Very, very volcanic.
Is that what happened? Did a volcano explode? Now I'm excited.
No, it wasn't a volcano. So, yeah, no. Even though our house is not far from the mountains. But we went out one evening. It was our last night in Lanzarote. And it was my family. My grandmother decided to stay at home with my older sister. And we went out to a restaurant, Costa de Blanca, in Lanzarote. And it's very nice. We had a pleasant evening. Before we left, the neighbours next door had a barbecue. So it was teenagers doing whatever they were doing, having a barbecue. We came back and we smelled burning. We thought,
Oh.
It must have burnt something.
Oh, it wasn't
So-
your grandmother, was it? Was she on fire? Were they
No.
cooking her? Were they cooking your grandmother?
Cannibals.
Cannibal! Oh my God, cannibalism on Lanzarote. How awful! Continue. My legs are hurting even more now. I don't know why that is. Oh, that's so painful. I need chocolate biscuits.
Chocolate biscuits.
I might have to go out to the BP garage afterwards and purchase the packet. Carry on.
So we parked the car and everything, and I went back into the house, and I was having a glass of gin and tonic before I was packing my things away, and my dad was outside in the garden smoking his cigar, and my dad comes rushing into the house and says, "Oh, the bin's on fire." I thought, "The bin's on fire?" I thought, "What do you mean?" And I open up these curtains, big curtains, you know, the big window frame.
Yeah.
Open up the curtains, and there was this blaze of a flame. You know, the whole bin was set
What, from the
alight.
bin?
Yeah. 'cause
Oh
it was
my
metal,
God.
You know, it's a proper metal bin, and there was a tree
Yeah.
near the bin, so the tree was set alight, and of course you got a breeze, so you got a wind coming up, which comes up the road, and you know, it was making it worse because you know you got all the flames of the tree coming off, and you know, and all the flowers were setting alight. It was really chaotic. So my dad ran out, crossed over the car because the car was full of petrol.
Was it like Superman?
Yeah, it was more like Mission Impossible. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So he jumped across the bonnet to get onto the other side of the car because you know it's different driving, you know, system, and so we're all rushing around thinking, what can we do? We're trying to find the emergency number because in Spain they have different numbers for different emergency services,
do
like
they?
police, ambulance, and paramedic. You know,
How
it's not like
inconvenient.
999.
Very inconvenient.
Yeah. So I'm rushing around trying to find the emergency book. And my grandmother's shouting, "Don't panic. You're making it worse if you panic." And she sat, the most comical thing she done was she sat down, lit a Spanish cigarette and looked through the book for the emergency services. So I'm looking, thinking, what are you doing? You know, how can you be so calm? She said, you've got to be calm about these things.
Oh, God.
And I'm realizing the car's full of petrol, it can blow up and we'll all be gone. You know, it was just, and my dad managed to go into the car, drive off, and this bin is just disintegrated into nothing, you know, and all the tarmacs coming up. The fire brigade came and, you know, done their duty.
That's
you know.
terrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
Frightening.
oh gosh, it was terrible.
I have a great fear of fire. A great fear of fire. I've had to work with fire eaters before. And as soon as that flame starts shooting out of their mouths, I'm under the table, mate. I'm under the DJ kit, hiding from it all. Frightening, really.
Oh,
Gosh.
Yeah, it's very frightening. You know, whenever I've been on holiday, there's always been a disaster sometime.
Is
You know,
there?
I think, why is that? Yeah, I went to Australia a couple of years ago to see my family in Australia. And it was during their winter, but it was still warm, you know.
Oh, I
like
know.
springtime.
I've been in May. I've been in May, right? And it was cold here, and I'm there in May. You come out of Sydney Airport, yeah? Come out of there, and as these doors open, this lovely warm air touches you. And we've been freezing cold. It might have been April, actually. I can't remember the exact month. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, these doors open, it's warm. I thought, oh, my God, I've come from cold into this. And then when you get to Sydney, there you are in your T-shirt. They've got coats on. And it's 70 degrees. And you're like, why have they got coats? I thought they'd all gone mad, dear. But, of course, they're used to it being a lot hotter, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, yeah. Yeah, it was about probably 16, 17 degrees when I went.
Yeah.
And it was still hot.
That's comfortable,
you know,
isn't it? Yeah,
boiling.
comfortable,
Yeah, comfortable, very
For us,
reasonable.
anyway, yeah.
And they were like, what are you doing wearing shorts? I'm like, oh, it's nice and warm, you know. And all there having a jumper on and jackets, you know, and hats. I'm just thinking, oh, gosh, aren't you
Shut up, Mark.
freezing?
Carry on, yeah.
And so when I was in Australia, I went to see my cousin,
Yeah.
who lives in Perth, and one of his business, he does outdoor stuff, like tents and all that malarkey, and he has a nice house and a bit of land, with horses and chickens and stuff.
Can we
And
have
there's a farm-
can we have a chicken noise now, please, just to add to the ambience of the show tonight?
What, me?
Yes.
Me doing a chicken noise?
Yes, please. That's not very good, is it? That really is not very good at all. Would you like to could you just try that again, please? Vera, you see, she would be very good at this. In fact, if she comes along to the karaoke on Friday night, I shall insist that she does The Lion Sleeps Tonight, complete with the jungle noises that she does.
Does Vera actually do that?
She does jungle noises, yeah, when she's singing that song, The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
She can understand. She can understand drum beats. You know that. They've all got. Yes, I was surprised. He called me over one day. She said, "Can you hear the message in that last song you played?" I'm like, "No." And she comes. They're all these drum beats are messages of some sort. Apparently.
Really?
Like we would pick up the telephone to ring someone. Vera uses drums. Anyway, can we just have another posh chicken noise, please?
I'm not very good at doing animal noises.
Just one more, please. Just one more.
Anyway.
Please.
I do one anyway.
Right.
Yes, just for the sake of the show.
Right.
Is that better?
Yeah, but it kind of doesn't go anywhere. So I think that should be... Your one just went... And it kind of stopped. It's like you didn't finish off. I hope you finish off. There's nothing worse than being left not finished off, is there, Mark Bowles? Anyway, carry on.
So it started to rain, and and I enjoy listening to rain. So I was sitting outside underneath. What was I sitting under? I was sitting underneath something, and I felt something crawling on my back.
Oh no! Go on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, something was crawling, and I thought, oh, it's a widow spider. I immediately, I thought there was a spider. 'Cause I felt legs crawling behind my back.
Oh.
I was like, what is that? And I immediately put my hand behind my back, and something stung. Something bit me or something. I don't know what it was, but I just felt something just. Yeah, just something happened. And I looked at my hand, and my thumb was absolutely swollen. It was a bee.
Oh.
It was a cute little bee, and I saw it fly off, and it died, and I was so upset. I love bees.
You sound like you was a little bit disappointed that it was a bee and not like a black widow spider.
No, but I've seen them, Australia black widow spiders.
I've seen enormous spiders in Australia.
I had a huntsman on my face.
How did that happen?
I was.
Were you just wanting to be friendly with it, or what?
No,
you trying to kiss it? What a funny thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's not got anything to do with it. I was. We went in the jungle in Australia.
Yeah.
And the lovely sounds of birds and.
Is it the Daintree? What's it called? Is it the Daintree jungle? Danemere?
What, in Perth?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Cairns, aren't I? I'm thinking of Cairns. Anyway, carry on, dear. Carry on.
So,
I'm Chris Reardon. Sorry. So I'm getting my Tourette's now. Or is it tinnitus?
So, when I was in the jungle in Perth, my mum stayed at home, and I went with my uncle and cousin and my dad, my sister, and we got nice orange sand, so it was very humid, and had a nice hat on and and shorts and everything, and I was just going through some bushes, because
oh yeah,
the jungle's very thick
If you
everything.
say so,
We all
dear.
had, all
yes.
had swords.
Was there a
just
lot of
bash.
other lads in these bushes, were there?
No. No.
Continue.
So I pushed this bush back, and it kind of misplaced it somehow, and it went back on my face. And there was just legs. All I could see was legs on my face, just legs. And my uncle was like, he said, "Don't move, whatever you do." So I'm standing still, and he takes the spider off. And he said, "Oh, it was harmless. Nothing wrong with them." Which is no harm to humans at all, just to spiders.
Are you talking about huntsmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I know that. Huntsmen are not poisonous. They can bite you, but they're not. They generally they're not poisonous. It's the tiny little redbacks and the is it funnel web? They're pretty.
Yeah, funnel web are the one of them as well.
pretty
Yeah,
bad, aren't
yeah.
they?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing in Australia. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was.
I was staying.
loved it.
I was staying at a resort near Cairns, called Turtle Beach,
Yeah.
which was a lovely, lovely place with a private beach and all that. Right, and I stayed there twice actually. The first time I was on there wasn't many rooms, but I was on the rooms back from the front ones upstairs. If you see what I mean. I think I was upstairs anyway. Anyway, I got talking to the person in the room next to me, and over a period of time we became kind of friends. And then one day he knocked on my door. He said, Here, Chris, come and see this." I said, What? Come and see this quickly. So I went in, and I'm like, "What?" He said, Look out on the balcony. Oh my God. There is this spider's web and this enormous, it was like a bird, this enormous spider sitting in the middle of this web. And I'm like, "Oh my God, do you want to go and have a closer look?" "No, I don't." And with that, he opens the door to the balcony, slides it open. Come on, come and have a look. I said, "I don't want to have a look." "Oh, come on." So I peered out there looking at this spider. He said, "Their webs are really strong. Watch this." And do you know what he did then? He twanged the web. I thought, any minute now, this spider is going to launch itself either at him or at me. But the spider didn't move. It just sat there. I said, "Why ain't it moving?" He said, "Because it knows that we are not something that he wants. We're too big." And that's why it didn't move. He twanged the web. The web didn't break. It was like a guitar string. Oh, they're horrible things, spiders. Poor Natalie don't like spiders, do you, Natalie? She's just stopped laughing now.
I don't mind them. I don't
Mark
mind
says he'd love one on his face. I think he means the spiders anyway. But carry on. Sorry? I ate them.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them at all. You know, I don't mind them. I have no fear of them.
Yeah.
I don't find nothing wrong. You know, I was in university when I did my zoology course. We had a Mexican tarantula.
Right.
And you know, she was a lovely little thing. She was a little baby spider, but now she's absolutely huge.
Wow.
And you know, of course, I graduated in February, and now I haven't seen her for so long. She's grown huge.
People have them as pets, don't they?
Yeah, people do have them as pets. Yeah.
Apparently, one of the most things you have to be careful about is not so much the bite, is if you scare them, they fire off loads of little hairs, don't they? And if they get in your eyes, that's quite a serious thing because they can't be removed. You've just got to wait for them to drop out. They can't remove these hairs, and it's extremely painful, apparently. And what happens is that people have these tarantulas as pets in the tank. Oh, clean the tank out, you know. So they carefully take the spider, but the spider becomes scared and fires off all these little hairs into the air and ends up in someone's eyeballs. Very painful, dear.
Yeah, it's tarantulas are very quite a hard business to keep a hold of, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I could manage all that. No. I've only got 2 reptiles. That's enough for me.
What have you got then?
I have bearded dragons.
Oh, I love them. Such friendly little creatures. I love bearded dragons.
I've got two.
Do
Yeah.
they sit on you?
Yeah, they do. They do come along and they just sit there and actually just don't mind. They just mind their own business, and they sometimes actually fall asleep because of like the comfort of interaction with a human. So they just fall asleep.
There's a man on TikTok. I say man, he's a young man, older boy. He's an older. How old would he be? Probably about 28, 29, I think. And he has a lizard, and this lizard. He could be doing something in the kitchen and the lizard will walk across the kitchen floor, climb up his trouser leg, up his body, up his arm, and settle on his shoulder.
Oh.
It's lovely to see it. Lovely to see it.
What lizard is it?
Oh, I don't know. Looks like a... I don't know. Hang on a minute. Let me type in lizards into my Edge search.
There are a lot of
engine.
species of lizards.
I
So good
know.
luck.
But lizard, or perhaps I can put pet lizard. Let's put pet lizard. That might be better, mightn't it? Pet lizard. But it's very comfortable with him, it seems to be. The 10 best lizards to keep as pets. Here we are. Have we got... and I had geckos in my room in Australia. I just left them.
Oh, they're lovely.
They're
I love
hilarious. They don't bother
Yeah.
you at all. They're not going to attack me. But the thing is, they're on the ceiling, but they can't stay up there, and they just fall off. And they're just onto the floor, and then they scurry off somewhere else. It could. Oh, I'm trying to see here.
You know they don't have any eyelids. Sorry, they don't have any eyelids.
They don't have any eyelids.
No, so they lick the eyeball to moisturise it.
Oh, I didn't know that. It could have
Yeah,
been an iguana.
Iguana.
It could be an. Would you say iguana?
Iguana.
Iguana. It could be an iguana. It's definitely not a chameleon. It's not a green balise. It's not the black and white tengers. It's not a skink. I think
definitely
it could have
skink.
been one of those. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, iguana.
Yeah, could have been.
Possibly.
I'll next time I see him, I'll ask him what it is. Yeah, we like lizards. They don't bother anyone. Get rid of all the nasty insects, don't they?
I like snakes as well.
Incidentally, talking of insects, each year they are the bane of my life.
Really?
Lily beetles. Bright
yes.
red lily beetles. And it's round about now, and I discovered the first one a couple of days ago, which was immediately squashed.
Oh.
I found 3 so far. As soon as you've seen one, you must spray the plant. Because if you don't, you'll wake up one morning and you'll have stalks. I never forget that. There was one day I just left them, right? And then in the morning, and there must have been loads of them, in the morning I got up and all I could see was stalks in the ground. All the leaves had gone. So before the lilies flower, you have to keep a really close eye on those and keep spraying them.
Do you know the best thing to use actually, instead of using spray, is actually cinnamon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, cinnamon. Yep, it's the best way to get rid of pesticides for any plant, including ants.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Cinnamon.
now you know.
Very nice an apple pie. I hope you'll be making me an apple pie at some point, Carl.
You know, I like chai latte. It's good with
Chai latte,
cinnamon.
what's that?
A spicy chai latte. So it's a latte with so when it's full with the froth at the top, you add cinnamon, and that's what it's called.
Oh, it's a
spicy
coffee.
chai latte. Yeah, it can be without coffee too.
We don't do
yeah.
coffee, dear. We are British. We do tea.
Oh.
Only tea. So disappointed in France. Have you got any English breakfast tea? No. Oh.
No.
I had to have very similar Darjeeling. Vera doesn't
Darjeeling.
like creepy crawlies either, do you, my love? No.
I love them. I've always been fascinated by insects, especially.
Spiders, evil things. All right then, Carl. Well, thanks very much for the call tonight, my dear.
No worries. Thank you for
It's a
having me.
very interesting call. Thank you very much.
Always very interesting.
See you tomorrow morning. Ta-da.
Tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, Carl. Oh, sorry, I pushed the wrong button there. Posh Twink Carl for you there here at Reach on Air. Yes, Mark Bowles is very concerned about the firing into someone's eye. Very, very dangerous, those tarantulas. Don't go near them, my darlings. All right? Okie doke. I'm going to play you another little tune now, boys and girls. See, I'm trying to get a few more tunes in than we usually do, all right?
This city has a special morning voice. Speaks to me through an open window, masquerading as noise. 10 million people waking up, and somehow I'm the lucky guy who gets to make you a coffee cup. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stumble and fall, if I make a mess of it all, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. This city can be hard and unforgiving. You better know who you are. You brought me back to the living. You were my guiding star. And if I ever forget what matters most, if I am giving up the ghost, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall. And if I stumble and fall, if I make a mess of it all, remind me, babe, and I will do my best to recall.
Dino also can't stand spiders. I don't mind the ones with a long spindly leg. As long as they got a really tiny body, I'm probably all right with them. Although that's not the case in Australia because they're the poisonous ones, the little ones. Got to watch out for the little ones. And yeah, like those little dogs everywhere. And Mandy also has had bearded dragons as pets. They do look nice. Thank you, Rebel Bert. Enjoyed the song that he just heard on Reach on Air by the Stylistics. That's when people dressed properly to do songs and that, and didn't appear like Rihanna in bra and knickers, my loves.
Chris Reardon on Reach on Air.
Well, as you know, I've just come back from Paris as well. I came back. Actually, I could say I've just come back. I've been back a week now, haven't I, really? And we had the most wonderful time. I like something to run to a schedule. Do you know what I mean? My whole life has always been a bit like that. Really, since I worked for British Telecom, And they were very strict with their time at British Telecom. If you were 2 minutes late, that was like a cardinal sin there. And if it happened 3 times, seriously, you were in serious trouble. And I think possibly that's what it stems from. And our holiday that we'd just been on to Paris just went like clockwork. I'll tell you how it went then. So on Sunday early evening, we left here. Me and my mate. Well, I took him for his 50th birthday, actually. We left here and we stayed at the Travel Lodge in King's Cross. Okay, so we stayed there that night, and that's all right. There, in there, we had a bit of a meal in there, some sort of veggie burger and chips, which was nice. I must say, they weren't huge portions, especially for the price they were charging in there. But that's how it is. The Premier Inn in King's Cross. There's a couple actually. This was the one along York Road, literally almost opposite the train station on the side of it. That was very comfortable. And with a Premier Inn, you know exactly what you're going to get. Seriously, I mean, all the rooms are exactly the same. The beds are as comfortable as they can possibly be. The shower is all acceptable. The TV, lovely, right? So that was that. And then in the morning, we got up, I think it was around about 6:45. He had a shower. Then I had a shower, and then we walked our cases about 5-10 minutes across the road, past King's Cross Station, across another road to St Pancras. And we went in there, and it's all fairly easy, the way you check in and everything. We stood and did the passports. You have to kind of do the passports twice now, which is a bit of a blooming pain, to be honest. I mean, it's not too bad. But whereas before you only had to be seen by one lot of people as you left, now it's 2 lot. You go through the British ones, and you walk a couple of feet, and you go through the French ones as well. But that's how it is, and it was all right. And we got through there. You keep your bags with you. I'm just trying to think now. Did we go through some sort of security? Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. I got pulled over. Now, why did I get pulled over? They asked me if I had a knife with me. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. Okay, well, we're just going to open your bag. Okay, that's fine. Would you like to open it, sir? I said, yeah. So he opened the bag and I started pulling it. It's all right, sir. Don't worry about pulling stuff out. We know where we're going. And he come in the side and basically he pulled out my set of keys. And on that set of keys is a little penknife like that, which I'd completely forgotten about. I said, oh, I'm so sorry, there's a little penknife on there. Do you want me to take that off? No, that's fine. We can see what it is now. And he put it back in the bag, and that was the end of that. And it is only like that. The penknife is actually is for when I'm doing litter picking. Because sometimes you see things, and, for example, bags of sand. You know those bags of sand that they put them over road signs and places like that to hold them in place, yeah? So that the wind don't blow them open. Well, often when they collect the road signs, they leave the blooming bags of sand everywhere. And then you can't pick them up and dump them somewhere, like with the litter. Because we, as a litter collector, as volunteer, I don't get paid. As a litter collector, we can dump our rubbish at various points, take a photograph of it and send it to the council, who come along the next day or in a couple of days and pick it all up for us. As part of the deal sort of thing, right? But you don't want to be carrying blooming great big things of sand. So what I got the penknife for was to cut the bag, let the sand out, kick it over the grass a bit, because that's perfectly all right. And then you can just dump the very lightweight material bag. And that's why I've got the penknife. Anyway, so they let us through with that. And then we're sitting there waiting for the train. I got a cup of tea, and he got a cup of tea and a chocolate croissant type thing. I can't think what they're called now. Chocolate? Is it a chocolate? Something like that. Anyway, so we're sitting there, and then we're watching the screen, and it tells you what gate to go to, and we were already there at the gate. So the doors open. We went up in the lift and got on a train. All the seats are numbered there. Sat on the train, and this filled up pretty quickly. I think about 5-10 minutes before the doors were closed, and the train was 9:31. Hello to Listening to Books, evening to you. It was 9:31, the train. I'm watching this clock. And like I said to you, I love everything to run to time. I love it. And this screen, it went 9:31. And at 9:31, this train starts moving. And I thought, yes, I love it. And it kind of meanders reasonably fast through the English countryside. And then suddenly you're in a tunnel. And we were watching the trip from King's Cross to... Is it Dover? I don't know where it goes across now. Wherever it goes across. And like 20 minutes passed and we were in Essex. And I'm like, wow, can you just imagine driving from King's Cross to Essex? How long would that have taken at 9:30 in the morning? We've just done it in less than 20 minutes. Blooming wonderful. I love the train. I love trying going into London from here, which I'm doing in a couple of weeks' time, actually. I'm going to the ABBA concert again. I'm very excited about that on Sunday the 14th of this month at 6 p.m. So very much looking forward to that. And so we're in a tunnel, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, something like that. And whoosh, out the other side it goes. And once it gets into France, it's really fast. Really fast. And you're looking at the French countryside and all that. And it arrived at Paris Gardinal station, bang on time. We got off there. We came straight up, and there was lots of taxis there. So we queued up for the taxis. That was about 10, 15 minutes because it was quite a long queue. But there were a lot of taxis. It kept moving. And off we went to the hotel. A taxi wasn't very expensive. I think about £13 or £14. We weren't in there too long. But, you know, when you're with cases, you can't be bothered with buses and trains. Although I have done that in Australia. Oh, my God, I got off the plane the first time I went and I struggled with this great big heavy case, 2 cases actually, onto a train. And I don't know how I made it, actually. I didn't do it a second time like that. No. So we got the taxi, got to the hotel, lovely hotel, the Hotel Terrace, Terrass, very pleasant staff in there. And we dropped our cases off because it was a bit early. I think it was about 12:30 in the afternoon by the time we got there. And we had to leave the cases there because we couldn't check in till 3 o'clock. And we went out for a walk. Hello to Dave Squires this evening joining us. Evening, Dave. Thanks very much for your comments there. Dave is with you straight after the 11 o'clock news. Okay? And any more texts, send them in nice and quickly now. Phone lines are now closed, boys and girls, okay? Thanks very much to both of you who called tonight. It's very kind of you. If you want to send a text, don't forget you can still send a text, boys and girls.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
Or any of the other message systems that you might be watching a show on, including the excellent Reach on Air message system, which never fails. So we came out there. I said, where can we go now? So she's immediately produced a little map of the area just around the hotel. And blow me down, we're just around the corner from the Moulin Rouge. I thought, wow, I want to see that windmill. So we came out, we started walking past all these absolutely delightful little cafes. And the one thing I really like about Paris is that you don't have a blooming great big yellow M sign on every street corner, which you've got in London. We only saw 2 McDonald's in all the time that we were there. I'm very happy I was about that as well. There's all these little private cafes, family-run cafes, tables and chairs inside and outside. And while we were there, we stopped at many of them and just sat down and had a cup of tea and another cake, you know. Wonderful. I love that thing. We don't have that here. And there's no Starbucks. You know, I mean, the Starbucks is a far cry from these lovely little cafes that you've got in Paris. It really is. Each one is very individual. And there was a particular one that we liked. I can't think of the title of it now. But it was just around the corner from the Moulin Rouge. I'll try and look up the name of it while I'm chatting away to you here. We walked past these cafes and various little shops, having a little look there. And then we turned the corner and there it is, the Moulin Rouge. We were standing in front of the Moulin Rouge. And that great big windmill there, it's not turning. And I thought to myself, I've got to come down here at night and have a look at when it's all lit up in red. And indeed, we did do that. I think we either did it that night or the next night. I can't remember now. Oh, I think it was that night. We went back down there that night so that I could stand in front of the Moulin Rouge. Oh, it's fantastic. Really fantastic. And went past some more shops. And when we ran up to this huge basilica. I'm sorry, I don't have the titles of these places with us. Oh, there's the restaurant. Let me see if I can find the name of this restaurant now. There it is. The Café des Two Moulins. Café des Two Moulins. That's where we sat there. And it turns out that it was in a film. It featured in, I think, a French film at some point. Can't remember what it was. Unfortunately, I've seemed to be having a little bit of a problem with my iPhone 8 now, in that the back camera is shaking. I'm not quite sure why that is. Hello to Easter Pup. How often do you come on at night? Just tonight, really. Tonight and tomorrow, but I'm not doing a show tomorrow night. I can't be bothered, to be honest. That's the only reason. So I'm just doing tonight, okay? So there we are. Thank you very much, Easter Pup, baby. Nice to see you. Rob, no donuts in your shop as well, Kane, tonight, rather disappointingly. So we did all that. Then we went up to this massive basilica, which was stunning. It's a big Catholic church with pictures on the ceiling. It was enormous, this place. And we went up steps and steps, because it was the area we were was a big hill. And shops are at various levels going up this winding road. We got to this basilica and we went in there, and my mate had a bit of a moment in there, actually. He felt very... what's the word? I can't think of the blooming word now. Isn't that annoying? Oh, what's that word? He felt quite emotional in the church. Yeah, he really did. No, dear. No, it's all right, Easter Pup. It's a very old iPhone, dear. Very old. The back camera shakes. It's an iPhone 8, this one. Okay. Anyway, I must finish this story because we've only got about 6 minutes left. So we did that, and then my mate decides that he wants to walk up the top, because you can go in sort of around the side and then go on a winding staircase right to the top of the basilica. It's almost 300 steps. And we start climbing up this thing. Oh, my God. Up and up we went. Eventually we got to the top. And the view we had, we were above the Eiffel Tower at this point. Just fantastic. Fantastic view. And as I say, we had a good look round the church. And I took my mate into the praying area. He's Jewish. So he said, well, how do we get in there? I said, just do exactly what I do. So I went in there, genuflected, knelt down in the middle, went to a bench and sat down, and then knelt down. He did exactly the same. And he became quite emotional in there. So that was that. And then we came out of there, walked back down. He saw a lamp he liked in this light shop. We had another cup of tea in yet another little cafe. And we got to the hotel, checked into the room, and all was well and good. You know, lovely room. They had a main bed and a sofa bed. He took the sofa bed, which I was rather pleased about because that bed was blooming comfortable. And our view was the Eiffel Tower. Quite clearly, it wasn't right next to us, don't get me wrong. It was it was about a 40-minute walk away, actually, from there. We got buses. We took the bus a couple of times, and the excellent metro system there. Love it. Love it. But our view from the room was the Eiffel Tower. It's just... And then, what did we do that night? I can't think what we did that night, actually. Oh, yeah, we went back down to the Moulin Rouge and we had a meal out somewhere, which was really nice. And then the next day we went to the Champs-Élysées and that thing, what's that called? Oh, I'm losing my words tonight, aren't I? You know, there's that thing where all the roads meet. Can't think what that's called at the moment. What's that called now? Arc de Triomphe. The Arc de Triomphe. Went up the top there and again had a little look around, and that was good. Again, a lot of stairs there, although there is a lift if you're disabled. Bought a couple of souvenirs from there. some more sitting at cafes and that sort of thing. And then at night time, we went to the Eiffel Tower, and we went to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Now, we were advised to get a tour. The tour is more expensive than queuing for tickets. But if you do a tour, you don't queue. You go right round the queue. You have a different way of going in there. And that's what we did. And it was, I've got to tell you, it was worth every penny. I'm very afraid of heights, actually. I'm scared of heights. But in this case, I did it, and I'm pleased I did it. Do you know what I mean? And then that was it. And then we had some time the next day where we walked around again, just in the local area around the hotel. We got the Eurostar back, all ran to time. There was a little bit of a delay where it actually stopped before Calais because there was an animal on the track. And we got back home, and a thoroughly, thoroughly wonderful holiday. Really good. He had a fantastic time. I had a fantastic time. And we're so pleased that we went to Paris. And I have got another holiday coming up now. Okay, apart from my usual trip to the caravan, I've shoved in another holiday in June. But I'm not going to tell you where it is. I may or may not be able to do a show from there. Don't know yet. I'd quite like to do one of my morning shows from there, in which case I will just go and not tell you where I'm going if I think I'm going to be able to do a show there, and then just do one from there. And while it's on, and it'll be one of the morning shows, okay, that I do. And yeah. All right, now I've just looked at my clock in front of me, and I've run out of time to play you another song, unfortunately. So we'll just have to talk towards the end there. Listening to Books is off now. Thanks for joining us. Easter Puck, was there any handsome men at the Moulin Rouge? Well, I didn't actually go into it. We didn't go in to see the show at all. But I did stand outside it and see that the windmill turning around with all the wonderful red lights on. It was just fantastic. Just fantastic. I highly recommended holiday for anyone that wants to go. There was some people going on about pickpockets and all that. Well, I mean, you get blooming pickpockets anywhere. I mean, if you're that stupid to allow yourself to be pickpocketed, you know, that's my personal opinion of that. The way people have expensive bags and things hanging around, it's been stupid. It really is. Anyway, time to go. I'll be back with you here at Reach on Air tomorrow morning, boys and girls, just after the 9 o'clock news with an hour of music, chat and fun. Coming up next tonight on Reach on Air, he's standing by to do his singing along to records, is Mr. Dave Squires. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And another one of these shows for you next Tuesday at the same time, just after 9 o'clock. All right?